two very interesting things came into my mind all of a sudden. So I think it'll be interesting to use it as the opportunity to try this new format, this new angle of camera. But anyway, the topic of this video is about what does it feel like to use English as your second language. So the first difference I feel when I speak English is that I have a little bit less cognitive power. So I have less RAM essentially, because some of the RAM are used on the operating the system than fully into the information. That's how I feel about it when I think of it. Even though I think I'm pretty proficient in it, but nonetheless, it can never be fully 100%. I feel I'm maybe like 98 or 99% proficient, but no matter how close I get to that level, I will always be missing something to reach that 100%. When I was young, my brain was not exposed to this language. So when my brain tried to operate on this system, there will be always something missing. I think from what I know is that we need to be exposed to this language before 6 years old. But if we were not exposed to this information, to those sounds and to those meaningful emotional contacts, our brain would not be able to fully run on this system. So when I think of it now, still I can feel that the English is like, it's rooted on the main trunk, which is Chinese. So essentially when I try to say convert information from Chinese to English, there will be something missing on the way. And essentially in this case, I would never really be able to see the world as a native English speaker can. And the second main difference I feel when I speak English is that I am much less emotional. I feel I am much more detached from my emotions. So in a way, it is much more cognitive than, say, emotional or instinctive. My master thesis was on this. Maybe in the future I'll share with you something related to that, but there's a lot of emotional thing missing in a sequential bilingualism. So for instance, if the person learned the second language when they were in teens, they will never be able to build that emotional connection related to this language. And in a way, I feel I'm using this feature as a shield sometimes. I realized this when I graduated from high school, because at that time there was a lot of stress and there was a lot of so the plural problem again, there were a lot of setbacks. So I was experiencing a lot of emotional impacts. So from that time I started, when I think of it now, to write something in English, because I felt and I still feel that when I do that in English to process certain emotional or unresolved emotional issues, it is easier to do that in a way because I feel much less. I'm less, as I said, I'm less emotional. It has benefits and disadvantages like everything else. This allowed me to kind of process those things I don't really want to see, or I don't have the capability to see at that time. But because I feel less and I'm trying to essentially to approach those emotions from a different angle, or maybe it's better to say from a dulled sensor somehow. In this way, it's like what's that word? So it's like a phonograph. The memory is the disc, or the emotional experience is the disc. So when I try to retrieve that part of memory or that part of emotion, Chinese is a brand new and very sensitive ping to it. But if I use English, it's a very dull, I mean, I wouldn't say very dull, but it's duller than the Chinese sensor. So in this way, when I try to retrieve those emotional experiences I feel less. Because of this, they were actually not fully or completely resolved. If in some situation the English would be enough to evoke the full experience or the full unresolved emotion, repressed emotion, then that would be fine. But at least from my experience is that when I used it as a shield, it is like any other defense mechanism. It makes me solved it somehow, but it was never complete. And many times people, I think in general, would avoid actually the most unwelcome emotion in this process. So those are the two thoughts that came into my mind of sudden, and yeah, so those are the two major things that suddenly came into my mind, and hope you find it interesting, and hit the subscribe button, and blah 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 blah. I will see you later. Yes. Yeah, so that's the two major things that came into mind all of a sudden, and I decided to make a new video. I hope you like it. I hope you find it interesting. At least they kind of lighted some spark in my mind. And don't forget to hit the subscribe, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.